While there are few arguments on what makes a yacht super, mega, or giga, there's no doubting the hundreds of millions and billions used to purchase them. Take, for example, the current most expensive yacht in the world, the History Supreme. It is reported to have cost around $4.8 billion. Now, this super yacht may be the most expensive, but it is far from being the biggest or largest. It's barely 100 feet long, but made of 10,000 kilograms of solid gold and platinum. When you speak in terms of the biggest giga yacht, then yachts like the Dilbar would come into the conversation. With a length of 512 feet and displacement tonnage of 15,917 gross tons, it's easy to understand why it's valued at around $600 million. However, behind the glamour and luxury of these yachts lies some secrets many of us are not privy to or may have heard in whispers. In today's video, I will tell you all about it. So, let's get into it right away. The secret of the yachts. Most people may never have the experience of vacationing in some of these mega and giga yachts, making it hard to get first-hand information on what happens far off the coast in international waters. Luckily, these massive yachts require your everyday folks to work as crew members. This has provided a sneak peek into the lives of the world's richest when they're away from prying eyes. Working as a deckhand is not always your ideal fairy tale job. On any super yacht, whether mega or giga, there are lots of crew members hired to attend to the needs of the owners and guests. On average, a crew member can earn somewhere between $3,000 to $3,500 a month. This does not take into account the tips, free food, and drinks. The truth is, for most of us on the outside, this is a dream job. You've got a place to sleep, food, clothes, and drinks all paid for, and an opportunity to cruise all over the world at a moment's notice. So how bad can it ever get? In a close-up conversation with some of these crew members, most of the fairy tale experience happens only in your head. Deckhands or crew members sometimes refer to themselves as glorified housekeepers. The last thing they get to do on such yachts is vacation. Instead, they're up before dawn and have to sometimes work extra hours into the night to cater to demanding guests. Just as there are different personalities in the regular world, these super wealthy individuals come the same. Unfortunately, as a deckhand, you don't get to choose the personality of the guest you'll be attending to. You're lucky if you have yacht guests who would rather be alone, reading, sunbathing, or playing with their toys in the water. Privacy is a figment of the imagination. Billionaires may take vacations to be away from the watchful eyes and ears of the world, but that doesn't mean their everyday lives are hidden from the watchful eyes and ears of over a dozen deckhands. Crew members are trained to not be seen and heard while guests move around these mega yachts, unless, of course, guests need them. Between the radios, earpieces, and cameras, deckhands have to keep a conscious eye on guests to know when their services are needed. Take, for example, knowing when to clean the bedrooms. Immediately after guests leave to have breakfast, the cleaning crew must ensure guest bedrooms are made clean and tidy. Even during breakfast, lunch, dinner, and whatever it is had in between, the head chef has to watch to see what piece of food is picked out or rejected to help tweak the menu for that particular guest. No matter how self-conscious guests are, caution is thrown to the wind after a couple of days out in the sea. It's common to walk into guests nude or passed out in awkward positions. Drunkard fisticuffs and wild party games can make these super wealthy billionaire guests look like regular folks. Owning mega yachts is not entirely a form of investment. To avoid trying to get all technical with accounting terms, when super wealthy billionaires go all out to acquire these super yachts, they have zero expectations that it would yield returns. So it may come as a surprise that these billionaires, who preach investments in business, would spend hundreds of millions of dollars to acquire a liability. Like with cars and other luxury automobiles, it is said that these super yachts have depreciation costs as high as 20% immediately after they leave the production yard. This does not include the yearly depreciation of the ship itself without upgrades. Then add the operational fees, maintenance, fueling, dockage fees, and electricity, and it'll come to about 5% of the yacht's cost annually. However, when you're a Russian billionaire, tech billionaire, Arab billionaire, or just royalty, that's like a stroll in the park. We all have toys that get us all excited. As far as these billionaires are concerned, Mega and Giga Yachts help differentiate the super rich from the super wealthy. To offset the operational costs, it's common to see yacht owners put their yacht for rent for such folks who can't afford to own it, but can splash $500,000 to $1,500,000 per week to enjoy luxury. Super yachts and tax havens. When it comes to ultra-wealthy humans of this world, there's one thing they're never tired of finding. It has to be tax havens and reliefs. While owning a yacht may not be an outright investment, these billionaires pay a lot of money to hire the best accountants and lawyers to help find loopholes in international laws. Billionaires buy these mega yachts with offshore companies registered in countries with lenient taxes. Simply put, most of these billionaires do not pay the required taxes on the yachts. If you're rich enough to put down hundreds of millions for a luxury boat, navigating the waters of huge taxes is much cheaper. Then there's the new trend of keeping expensive art and paintings on the yacht. Reports have it that some billionaires turn their super yachts into floating art galleries and carry out art auctions in them to avoid paying taxes on the paintings. The illegalities of some yacht parties. Hollywood has given us a sneak peek into what kind of parties take place in some of these super yachts. However, it pales in comparison to what actually goes on far out at sea. To avoid impounding the yacht and arrest the captain and crew members, these ultra-wealthy individuals can hire a second boat to tag along the mega yacht. On the other boat is where they keep the prostitutes and drugs, and occasionally bring a dozen into the super yacht when needed. This way, there's plausible deniability should a yacht get indicted by port laws. A 2-week supposed family vacation can end after a week with the family, have them flown back to land, and then have a week-long ride with drugs, alcohol, and prostitutes. Loyalty bonuses and gifts. Remember the fairy tale experience we spoke about early? Well, on some occasions, dreams do come true. We're not talking about the out-of-the-way tips crew members receive from yacht renters and guests. For the yacht owners, deckhands are employees from whom they expect loyalty. It is not rare to see yacht owners gifting luxurious gift items like Rolex to a long-serving crew member. Not all billionaires are terrible bosses. Some have an understandable relationship with longtime crew members. With all the things these deckhands have seen and heard, they're almost considered family. So it's really not out of place to see owners offer shares to startups or make donations to select crew members. But before you get all excited, such opportunities do not always come easily. Groceries, caviar, and food. Most grocery shopping is done near the port or shipyard before departure to keep food items fresh. The last thing that can be allowed to happen is for guests to run out of food. As such, contingency plans are always put in place for quickly restocking supplies. Part of such plans could be having a private helicopter fly in more food ingredients to the super yacht anchored in the middle of the sea. The kitchen crew, especially the head chef, would have to ensure every important guest has their food preference provided for. Let's say, for instance, a Russian billionaire is taking some friends on a cruise. There must be lots of caviar, lentils, and of course, vodka. Russian billionaires love their fish eggs and are ready to move mountains to have them on board. A guest list with mostly Middle Eastern clients would mean food has to be cooked in abundance. It doesn't matter if they only eat about 10% of the food. Looking at a table full of options is the highlight of Middle Eastern billionaires and their associates. For crew members, this is an added benefit. Most unconsumed food and drinks are sometimes left for them to share. If ever you're looking for a profitable business to start, owning one that stocks and supplies food ingredients to super yachts around shipyards is a good way to go. I hope you found this video informative. Have you ever been on any of these yachts, and what do you think about them? Please share your thoughts with me in the comments section. I can't wait to read them. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel to get more interesting stories. See you in the next video.